A Florida man opened the emergency door and jumped onto the wing of a plane. A Florida woman is accused of throwing firebombs at a temple. A Florida man discovered a naked Florida woman pleasuring herself in a pre-owned vehicle. And I eat ass is at the center of a Florida court case. These are the weird stories for Friday. They are all from the state of Florida, our favorite place in all the land. I'm Jonesy, the host of Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Fridays. Let's do it, guys. It's so much fun.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida. I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man opened the emergency door and jumped onto the wing of a plane. These passengers are just so unruly these days. There's been so many incidents of passengers opening the doors, jumping onto the wings of the plane, throwing haymakers at the employees, having to be duct taped to the chair. Like, this is out of control. I feel so bad for airlines employees. They are not paying you enough, in my opinion. And to be honest, I don't know what airline employees get paid, so I'm just guessing you're not paid enough to deal with being spit on by a Florida man or whatever. It says here, a passenger on an American Airlines flight that landed at the Miami International Airport opened an emergency door and then walked onto the wing as the plane reached the terminal, authorities say. This means the plane was still taxiing when this individual got onto the wing of the plane. Just trying to surf the old plane, guys. You guys have heard of surfing, plane surfing? It's a new TikTok challenge. Can you get out onto the wing of the plane and surf? Better if you get on the roof. Shoot that selfie on the roof of a plane. I don't know why people just can't wait for the plane to arrive at the gate. They just got to get out early. You're not going to get into the airport any earlier by jumping onto the tarmac where the baggage employees are. You're just not going to. In fact, you're going to be arrested by security, I assume, and it's just going to delay you even further from meeting up with your loved ones. Maybe this guy's got a different motive. Let's get some more information. This was a flight from Colombia. Oh, that explains it. He had to sell his cocaine that was shoved down his pants really quickly. Those guys that do the baggage duties, they like cocaine. That's what he was thinking. Now, these guys work all day lifting bags. They could probably use some cocaine. I'm going to jump out and do a little deal here right on the tarmac. Hey, you guys want to be able to throw bags onto that conveyor belt a lot faster than usual? I got some good Colombian juice for you. All right. Now we have a statement from the airline. You know that's going to be boring as hell and not really revealing, but let's read it anyways. The customer was immediately detained by law enforcement. We thank our team members and law enforcement for their professionalisms. Professionals, they're all professionals. They show great professionalism. Just love to get the professionals on the case. Professionals. You need professionals when you're operating in the state of Florida because, people are a bit unruly. They do all sorts of just unacceptable things on the planes, around the planes, on top of the planes, to the planes. We just don't know where it's going to come from. It's just crazy talk, right? It's just out of control. We don't got enough duct tape on the premises to get all these people strapped in the chairs and keep them from doing some crazy stuff. Thankfully for the professionals, they were there. He's professional. We think this guy's a professional drug dealer. We're not sure. Everybody that comes from Colombia is suspect, I'll tell you right now. U.S. Customs and Border Protection took this individual into custody without incident. Did they find any paraphernalia on him? Any paraphernalia? You always got to search a Colombian or a Florida man for paraphernalia. It says here the incident didn't cause any delays, and all the other passengers on the plane were able to leave without any issues. Have you guys, as passengers on planes in the past year, witnessed anything outrageous such as this? I'd imagine you have if you've done any traveling. Because it's just happening all the time. It's just out of control. You need to, be a black belt in karate just to work on these airlines. It's crazy behavior. Anyways, call the show if you'd like to shoot the shit with me. 646-450-2012. Hey! A Florida woman is accused of throwing firebombs at a Buddhist temple. This occurred in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. It sounds like such a lovely place. Palm Beach Gardens, place you could just go hang out at a Buddhist temple without having bombs thrown at the building. You would think. Not the case. Sheriff's deputies say a 46-year-old woman is accused of firebombing a temple, a Buddhist temple. Why? What does she have against the Buddhists? Of any group out there, like the Buddhists are so chill, man. Just not bothering anybody. You know, leave the Buddhist temple alone. Everybody's meditating around there. It's such a peaceful place, I'd imagine. Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies arrested a woman named May Chung. May is very angry at Buddhism. I don't know why. This occurred after the deputies were called to a Buddhist temple near Palm Beach Gardens called St. Doc Buddhist Temple. I'm looking at a photo of the temple. It looks like a lovely place to go and spend some time and become enlightened. Hard to become enlightened, though, when you got fiery bombs landing on top of your face. Right? That's fine. I got to know why. A news release say multiple items were found burning on these temple grounds, and they were determined to be improvised incendiary devices. Ooh, improvised incendiary devices. That's quite a phrase. I think it means homemade bombs. Yeah, guys. Improvised incendiary devices, I believe, means homemade bombs. I've watched enough Law & Order episodes to tell you this. Video surveillance at the temple captured a lady igniting and throwing 4 firebombs over the gate. Yeah! Fire one! What is she doing? It's so bizarre. She was also seen on video. Oh, as if the 4 firebombs tossed over the gate wasn't enough, she placed a 5th one inside the mailbox. Oh, boy. She's like, this is going to get them when they come get their Buddhist mail. I'd imagine, when the monk comes out to get the mail in the morning, she's like, I'm going to show him. Wow, this lady's got issues for sure. And, I wish she would leave the Buddhist temples alone. If anything, Florida needs more Buddhism in that state. They need more institutions of calmness and enlightenment and acceptance, All of the universal principles of Buddhism are just so needed in the state of Florida. I hate to see a Buddhist temple desecrated like this. This lady was arrested on multiple counts of using a firebomb, which I think is a specific law. She's also on the hook for what's called property damage of a religious facility. Yeah, you can't be damaging religious facilities. What are you doing, lady? A Florida man discovered a naked Florida woman pleasuring herself in a Jeep that was for sale at a car dealership. This is the second story I've come across in the past few weeks about a woman pleasuring herself inside a vehicle at a car dealership. Is this a fetish that I'm not aware of? Is this some sort of TikTok challenge where you touch yourself in a pre-owned car? A customer was actually shopping for a used car in Florida. And this Florida man discovered a surprise. It was a naked Florida lady pleasuring herself in the rear seat. Can you guess what the vehicle was? Think of a comfortable car to pleasure yourself in. When I think of a comfortable car, I'm thinking like a Cadillac or a Lincoln. Maybe this isn't so comfortable. A 2010 Jeep Wrangler. A little cramped space back there. Yeah. Anyways, she was in that Jeep Wrangler, just making happy times for herself and her body. This thing was at an auto dealership in Florida, which is where the police were then dispatched. Bob Tyler Toyota. Oh, Bob Tyler. Probably none too pleased to find a lady touching herself in the back of one of his Jeeps. Really got to go back there and clean that thing now. Oh, boy. A customer complained to a sales associate. This is how it began. Told the sales associate, "There's a naked woman in the back of that vehicle that I'd like to purchase. I just want to know, does it come with the naked woman? Because, I'm a single man myself. I could use a naked woman in my life. She seems like fun, too. Haven't seen a woman just so intent on having fun, even if it's kind of an inappropriate, uncomfortable location. I do like the looks of that Wrangler, too. I just want to know, does it come with the soft top as well as the lady?" You guys know half of that quote is false. So the dealership manager came over to see what's going on, opened the Jeep's door and spotted Alexis, age 37. She was, quote, naked with her legs spread very wide open. Another employee reported that the suspect was, quote, pulling at her vagina. They got another employee over. Hey, Rick, can you come over here and just verify like what I'm seeing is actually happening? Take a look in the back of that Jeep. Oh, yeah, boss, that's a woman, no clothes, pulling at her vagina. They got a third employee involved. Oh, they weren't sure what they were seeing was real. They're all on drugs. That's why it's Florida car salesmen. They're not sober. They're like, I had a few at lunch. Am I seeing this correct? Is there a woman in the back of that Jeep pulling at her vagina? Yes, I would say that is a woman pulling at her vagina. The third employee stepped it up, called 911, told the police that a coworker called him to the front lot to get a vehicle that a homeless woman was inside pleasuring herself. Oh boy, it's a poor homeless woman. She's got nowhere to pleasure herself, and she's sick of doing it in a tent. So she's like, this is a comfortable padded seat in the back of this Jeep. Lady, what were you doing? Get in the Lincoln. Get in the back of the Cadillac. There's so many more. Like a four-door sedan. That's what you want. Those bench seats. Oh, so nice. After King exited the vehicle, I guess she was done doing her duty, pulling at her vagina, as they say. She walked away from the dealership. Employees noticed damage to the car's interior, including a broken radio and a red-colored stain, which appeared to be from, oh, boy. Oh, guys, this is earmuffs on this one. And no children in the room when I'm about to say this. So the stain appeared to be from what they're saying is vaginal bleeding consistent with a period. And this was observed on the back seat. So Alexis had, she did some damage to the vehicle. Let's just say that. An estimated $1,300 worth in damage to the Jeep. One witness told the police that the automobile smelled so horrible it had to be sent straight to detailing. When the buyer was asked if he was still interested in purchasing this Jeep, he said, no, not without the lady.
You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man.
The Florida courts are struggling to make a decision based around an I eat ass bumper sticker. This is quite a long article here, and it's filled with legal jargon, but I think it might be fascinating, so I'm going to cover this one. It's about an I eat ass bumper sticker and whether or not this is free speech. Only in Florida, right? This is going up the courts, guys. They're spending time deciding whether or not I eat ass bumper stickers okay on the back of a car. Meanwhile, you got people outside of Chick-fil-A just eating ass all over Florida. What about this? Can we get the people that are eating ass at bus stops in Florida on out of there before we go after a bumper sticker? That's just my suggestion. I don't know much about laws and courts. I'm just thinking it might be better to get the actual people eating ass in public in order before you go after the I eat ass bumper sticker. So at the center of this fiasco is a Florida man named Dylan. He was pulled over in May of 2019 after the county sheriff's deputy took exception to the sticker that was on his car. It said, I eat ass. Dylan declined to censor it on the spot, and therefore his vehicle was searched. He was subsequently arrested and booked for obscene writing on vehicles. Now, the charges were dropped shortly thereafter. The state's attorney office was citing that this was a First Amendment right to have a bumper sticker on your car that says, I eat ass. Is my country okay or what? But then the U.S. District Court of Florida ruled yesterday that this case is not so cut and dry, awarding immunity to the police officer because apparently Webb brought a suit against the officer for allegedly violating his free speech rights and falsely arresting him for the I eat ass bumper sticker. He's like, no, you had no right to do that. Well, the courts are saying maybe he did have a right to arrest you for your I eat ass bumper sticker. Let's get some more information here about this is a saga. Now, the owner of the car, Dylan, denies the sticker was in fact obscene in interviews, but he repeatedly acknowledges the sexual nature of the sticker, albeit couched as an attempt at humor, showing that the notion that an erotic message was more than hypothetical. It could reasonably be viewed as the predominant message being communicated. Also adding, if that the sticker depicted a sexual act, it would be protected speech under the First Amendment only if it had serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. I'm so confused at what they're saying here, guys. Any lawyers want to break this down for me? They're saying that it's protected speech under the First Amendment only if it has serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Well, it is humor. Maybe that could be considered artistic. I don't know. I'm a comedian. I consider what I do art on some level. I mean, it's not the highest level of art. You know, I'm covering stories about women masturbating in pre-owned cars and trying to make it funny. But, you know, on some level, it's artistic. Does it have scientific value? Oh, I don't know. Has science explored the physiological rewards of eating ass? I'm sure they have. Wow, this is a nightmare. And I'm, you know, above and beyond whether or not this is okay and covered by a First Amendment, I just am embarrassed that we're spending all these resources deciding that. You know, what does my country come to? We have so many other problems, and yet we're spending resources arguing in a court. We get a jury on this too. These poor jurors, they're taken away from their jobs for weeks while they have to decide whether or not I eat ass is covered by the First Amendment. No wonder why no one wants to do jury duty. It's a joke. Okay, one more attempt to cut through the BS here. We have a law, Florida statute 847.011, paragraph 2, which prohibits, quote, any sticker, decal, emblem, or other device attached to a motor vehicle containing obscene descriptions, photographs, or depictions is actually unconstitutional on its face. That's according to a professor of law at the University of California at Berkeley. And if that's what the law says, then yeah, I think this is not okay, because I eat ass is an obscene description. You know, it just is. It's obscene. Do I think we should make a big deal about this and spend all this money processing this individual for putting an I eat ass? It really doesn't, it's not going to really have an effect on the culture. Let's be real. This is Florida. Like I said, people are eating ass all over the place. Children are being exposed to eating ass. It's probably a TikTok challenge, the eat ass challenge. So if you mean to tell me by taking off some sticker on a car, you're going to help, clear the world of any obscenity, then you're just very misguided, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Call the show. 646-450-2012. Also, I'll be selling I Eat Ass bumper stickers off my website, weirdafnews.com. Check that out. Yay! Hey, how's your weekend going, guys? I hope I was able to bring you some pleasure with the Florida Friday episode. I'm grateful for all of those listeners, fans of the show. You know who you are, who sent me Florida articles. I got a lot. They were awesome. You can always send me stuff to funnyjones@gmail.com. I got some nice emails, too, specifically about the song I sang the other day, like from Michelle. Michelle wrote, hey, Jonesy, just chiming in with the song you did, Till There Was You by the Beatles. Nice job, buddy. Love the show as always. It's my bedtime routine. By the way, I prefer your Irish accent over your English accent, as it reminds me of Gilbert Gottfried undergoing painful surgery with no anesthesia. Ha-ha. Still love you, though. Michelle from Jersey. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. And you nailed the song, man, Till There Was You. Great Beatles song. Very underrated. You don't hear it all the time. Alicia wrote me as well. She said, I have your show set as my alarm. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Do you want to be awakened by an over-caffeinated comedian in a closet? Maybe so. Alicia says, sometimes I'm hitting the snooze during it, so I was half asleep when I heard you singing that song. I thought, is he singing All My Lovin'? And then I listened to it again. Wasn't quite right, but I figured I'd go with it anyway. So is it the Beatles, All My Lovin'? No, Alicia, it was Till There Was You, which is, you should totally just pull up on your phone right now. It's you could probably find it on YouTube. It's such a great song. It's very short and sweet. Lovely song. Man, the Beatles are so great, right? I just love them so much. I could listen to them endlessly. I once, on a little road trip, put on the Beatles Sirius XM station, and I was like, is there enough Beatles to have a whole station? Turns out that there is, sort of. I mean, I didn't listen to it for days straight. You might get some repeats, but man, it was tremendous. You got to hear a lot of their solo stuff as well, and then Beatles-related groups. Okay, enough of that. Let's give some more thanks. People who called the show, Dixon is a parent from Richmond, Virginia, who called the show to weigh in on the Aztec prayer story that I did. So big shout out to Dixon in Richmond. Big shout out to Richmond, Virginia in general. I've been there before. Had a lovely time, man. Tubing on that river. Oh, good times, man. Richmond is great. I highly recommend it. A lot of fun there. Cheap beer, too. Oh, so good. Probably cheap gas, cheap cigarettes. You can live a life there. I had a call from someone from Australia. I'll publish that call. Couldn't actually figure out your name. Was it Life? Like, I listened to it several times. Life. I don't know what that is, but I'm just happy to have fans in Australia. Thanks for calling from down under. And I love my Aussies, and I'm going to visit Australia at some point. You know, as soon as this lockdown is over, I'm going to get over there. I got to. I have to. I have fans over there. I can do comedy, stand-up comedy in English, which is a huge perk. Also, shout out to Anna Marie Starr, who did a little voice recording for me on Instagram. Love that. Appreciated that as well. If I'm missing anybody, I'll catch you on Monday. If you'd like to call the show, it's 646-450-2012. If any of these stories, motivated you to express yourself, just feel free to call or email me. You can also follow me on the Instagram and drop a note right there. You can slide into my DMs. I answer them at Funny Jones. Do it. Yeah. And lastly, please check out the Patreon, which is filled with extra, not only Weird AF content in general, but extra Florida-specific content. So check that out. I'm putting something in there right after I'm done recording this. It's a video of something that occurred in Florida that's outrageous that you might want to see. You can join the Patreon by going to patreon.com/WeirdAFnews or download the Patreon app or go to weirdafnews.com and click on that little link there. You can do that too. Anyways, guys, it's always a blast hanging out with you, leading you into the weekend with some Florida degeneracy. And thank you for being here, and I'll see you on Monday. Love you.
What's up, Jonesy? Big fan calling out of Richmond, VA. Just wanted to make a comment on the show about the Aztec prayer thing. I'm a parent of 3, and it boils down to, if I had an issue with the curriculum, then I would just take it up with the school, and if there was no, resolution as far as them, taking it out, which it would take a lot for me to have a problem. It definitely wouldn't be them learning about an Aztec chant or prayer, you know what I mean? And I actually even remember learning about the Aztecs and how they would, sacrifice children and people and stuff to their gods. And, it was interesting, but I wasn't offended or something. But, so it would take a lot for me to have a problem. And if we couldn't come to some kind of resolution, I definitely wouldn't sue them. I would only sue a school if, they weren't properly taking care of my child's special needs or something, or, another child was, hurting them or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. But the curriculum, people are just way too soft these days. But, all right, keep up the good work, man. We love it. Take care. Bye.
Hey Jonesy, it's Life from Australia, man, down under. Look, I've been listening to your show for 12 months now. I reckon it's cool as. I'm sitting here in my niece's house at the moment. She's moving out, so I've been left here with a lounge, couple of tea bags, one light bulb. So I'm enjoying listening to a few episodes. Look, mate, I know the time difference is quite different. What are we now? It's 9:15 p.m. in the evening here, so I'm sure, you know what I mean, you'll be getting up in a minute. Give me a call back, dude, anyway. I'd just like to hear your voice. Thanks, buddy. Love you. Mate.